And now, in studio, coming straight out of the beautiful village of Del Mar to deliver the timely truths on the real estate market. He's a CEO and broker, a seasoned trainer, and an award-winning expert. He's Mark Schwartz, and this is the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Show.
Good evening. Welcome. This is Mark Schwartz, and you are listening, as always, on Friday at 8 p.m. on the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Radio Show, giving you the real deal in the real estate market, calling people out, keeping them in check, letting you know the week's wrap and getting you prepared for the weekend in real estate, all the things that are going on, all the exciting things in San Diego. 4th of July coming up, fairs ending, track starting. We got so much happening in San Diego. It's bringing people into the town. We love it, but we got to separate the people that would just, wouldn't it be nice if we bought a house in San Diego from the people that are actually looking to buy, right? Exactly. So today we have Hershel Strother II from Mark Schwartz Realty, as usual. We have Stacy Pulowski from First California Escrow.
Hello.
and we have Jason from my physical inspector, actually, from Action Home Inspections, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the home inspection process, why you should have them. We're going to have some fun talking about some of these bank-owned properties and the foreclosures and some of these people that have foregone an inspection and the danger that could bring, and some of the stories that he's going to share with us are amazing. Anyway.
Yeah, great to be with you.
Thank you very much, Jason. So, just first things first, the Lakers draft choice last night was a little bit of a surprise, I think, to us. Hershel, was that right?
Yes, D'Angelo Russell.
Right. We love Ohio State, don't get me wrong, and we do need a point guard in the future, but, at this point, I don't think...
I'm a Michigan fan, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. We're all Columbus, Ohio. Got family in Columbus and plenty of graduates from OSU. I don't think it's a bad move. I don't think it's a great move, but who am I? I'm not Mitch Kupchak.
It's a curious move is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you can read between the lines and look like maybe there's a deal coming down the line with possible trade with some other team. But pretty much the consensus was Karl Anthony Towns being number one and then Jahlil Okafor being number two or vice versa. And the Lakers pretty much shocked the world by not going with Jahlil Okafor at number two, going with the guard instead.
Yes, it's amazing, but we will see what takes place, and anything we can do to get those Lakers back up out of the cellar will definitely be helpful. You got to think that they're not looking to just slowly rebuild. They know that they got to make it happen now. Kobe's last year, potentially. It's time to get back in the playoffs. I, too, think that they might be looking to making a trade with that pick and maybe another player for two power forwards or two guys that are veterans that might come in and help.
Maybe Cousins.
We'll just have to see what takes place.
Cousins out of Sacramento is a big trade option. Also, you have LaMarcus Aldridge in free agency. He's looking at San Antonio. He's also looking at the Lakers. So they could go that route as well. We'll see if Kobe wants anything to help him out with the salary cap. But yeah, it's an interesting time in Lake. They really surprised the world. So Mitch Kupchak either is on his way out the door and doesn't care anymore, or he's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, at this point, he's probably rolling the dice, and I don't think it's a bad move. We'll just have to see what happens. Now, getting back to real estate in San Diego, it's amazing that we used to talk about the market going up and appreciation and all the things that were happening with the equity positions that were being rebuilt, giving the people the ability to now get out of their homes, buy another home, and make that move. It's interesting now how things have, appreciation's still there. Sales have slowed down 3.1% over the last 12 months. And now all we're talking about is rent. Renters are paying more rent. Home ownership is dropping. People are stepping back out of the market right now because they think we're right at like pre-bubble prices. They see interest rates starting to rise. I got news for you. They're not going back down. And we'll talk to Joe Costa from Park Place Financial Group shortly. And I think he will also attest to the fact that the Fed has made that change. And now we're going to be looking at stable and rising interest rates for the next year or two, at least till after the election. And so if you're on the fence, man, you better get off now. Time to buy is now. Otherwise, you're going to be paying more for the same house over the course of your 30 years by interest rates and by the prices of the homes now staying at where they're at. So I would like to just get back to the fact that the rent market is going up tremendously. If you're a renter, then you're paying your homeowner's mortgage. So you either have your mortgage or you don't. There's two types of people in this world. I don't care where you're from, what you do, how tall or short you are. You either own a home or you don't. If you own a home right now and you were considering selling that home, and now is the time to sell. You got buyers now that are stepping back from the situation, trying to get more aggressive, trying to get clever and taking the time. If you're a seller that needs to sell, you've got a divorce, a death, you can no longer afford the house, you've been relocated, you're going to be subject to the market conditions that are out there. If the market conditions aren't thriving and if buyers aren't, hand over fist because the home isn't priced where it needs to be or for any other reason, then you're going to be sitting on the market for what's called market time, going through and making the adjustments you need to get that home sold. It's more than ever imperative to get your house on the market now, price it to sell, get the buyer activity, and get on to your next move. Interest rates are going up. It's going to cost you money to wait to sell. You're going to end up getting less for your home, and you're going to end up spending more monthly for the home that you're looking to buy. It's one of those situations. We're caught in the crossfire right now. It's like the Wild West again. And so where buyers now have choices, and they're stepping back a little bit because they're hesitant on interest rates, thinking that they're going to go back down, as well as sellers still thinking that it's a seller's market and the prices are skyrocketing. Those two things are not taking place right now. And I think that it's a very prudent move that if you were on the fence looking to buy, that now is the time. San Diego has the fastest rising rents in the U.S.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is absolutely ridiculous. I think, Jason, you're a native to the area, and you've seen the building and the construction that's gone on in the inspection company. I mean, how are you feeling about the pulse of the market right now as far as the number of inspections you're doing, the people that you're interacting with, and that sort of thing?
The market's definitely changed. It's a lot of first-time home buyers that we're seeing. We're not really seeing the second and third sales like what you're referring to. The buyers that are selling and the sellers that are buying, second, third offers are pretty much the norm now, whereas before it was one and done. The strongest offer is the original offer is the one that went through, and now it's not the case. Yeah,
what's happening now, and it's a testament to real estate agents themselves. When they're representing a seller, it's evaluating the situation because sometimes the highest offer is not the best offer for you. We find that when there's a multiple offer situation, you have people that are trying to bid, outbid, don't want to lose an opportunity, and you got guys, agents that are out there advising their clients just to do what it takes to tie it up and renegotiate later. I mean, we found that on a deal. It's like I nailed the guy. It's like he's been talking about the appraisal from the beginning, and then the appraisal comes in low, and they're telling me, okay, you knew the appraisal was coming in low. And I said, no, I didn't. If I did, I wouldn't have listed the house at that price. And to me, it seems like he went into this negotiations thinking that we're going to have an issue. You might have the opportunity to renegotiate at that point, which you don't. But getting back to first-time buyers, it's a testament as well to the interest rates rising because people have been waiting and waiting and waiting. And so when you're waiting till the bottom, no, you're never going to get the bottom, and you see it bounce back up, you got to get off the fence. A first-time buyer, if they don't buy now, like I said, they're going to be buying a smaller house for the same amount of money or paying more money for that same house. So now is definitely the opportunity. When you said like second and third buyers or third-time buyers, are you talking about people that were coming from a house into a house?
Correct. People moving up in houses, like you said, using their equity, going and buying, the next bigger house in the next fancier neighborhood.
Sure.
Those are few and far between. It's a lot of out-of-state buyers bringing money in, getting those level houses.
Yeah, no question about it. I think what was happening is when, homes were going up hand over fist, sellers were seizing the opportunity to get a multiple offer situation and get the most money what they thought was possible at that time. And that was the encouragement to make a move because the interest rates were low and it just made sense to get it done. As things start to creep up, it's like, you know what, we don't need to sell. We're actually okay here, although our family's grown and the house is way too big. They've reasoned with themselves not to make that move, which is actually a lifestyle change at this point. Making that move, going to the beach, selling the home, downsizing, low maintenance yard, all the things that were the attraction initially. And so those changes, like the market, like I said, it's cooling off a little bit. You're seeing more and more reductions on prices. People have tried to step up and continue that pattern where homes were increasing at 3 or 4% every month. That's no longer the case. And so people have got caught up in this no man's land and they've needed to reduce the home. I haven't seen this many homes come down in price before they've sold in 10, 12 years. I mean, it's a trend, it's a cycle, and we're in that time frame now where that adjustment is being made.
You don't really see it match on the appraiser side, too. The appraiser is usually the one that gives them the reality check.
Yeah, we've had appraisal issues recently as well, and that's what's happening. You go with model matches, it's tough to go outside in neighborhoods, and appraisers are being very conservative about it. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about some of the agents and how they operate as well. We're fortunate enough to have Stacy Pulowski here from First California Escrow, and I mean the escrow business must be booming. There's still a lot of activity. You know, we've 2-3 months ago, deals were going into escrow hand over fist. It was like overnight things started to change, and we kept saying it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Now, it's not like time to jump off a bridge or anything. I mean, rates are still lower than they've ever been, even though they're up 3/8 or a half a point. Yet at this point, it's like people have forgot that it was once 10, 12, 13%, and so now it just seems like it's a little bit of a reality check, and everybody's kind of stepped back. What's happening in the escrow world on sales and resales? Are you finding that it's going smoothly, Stacy?
Escrows are still really busy. The openings are still really busy. So cancellation rate is still around 20 to 30%.
Meaning that 20 to 30% of the deals that open escrow cancel?
Still cancel, yes. So it still seems to be, I still think we're seeing multiple offers on deals.
Well, you're definitely seeing multiple offers if you've priced the house to sell. There's no longer these incremental advances in price. And the people that have continued to step up and the brokers that wanted to get the listing and not lose an opportunity, couldn't negotiate with the seller and did what it took to get the listing, are coming down in price. But yes, when a home is priced to sell, you're getting multiple offers and multiple interest in it. And that, obviously, you're working with a select group of pro realtors that have been in the business for a long time. I know that's the type of individual that you're working with. These guys are obviously, privy to what it takes to get a home sold.
Yeah, but we're still seeing it's still really busy, which is very typical for this time of the year. I am seeing a lot of price reductions going on. So that's probably what you were referring to.
Absolutely. So the escrow, the number of sales isn't actually, it's decreasing. It's the price of the home has come down about 3.1%. And homes are selling. It's market time's increasing. It's now back to 41, 45, days on the market. Carmel Valley as a whole, at one time we sat here and said there were 73 homes on the market. Yesterday I checked, there was 129 homes on the market. Yeah. So when there's now 5 homes that are 5 bedrooms that are a choice for my buyer, they have a choice of 5 homes. Before they had 1. And so at this point, they would go buy that house, and now they're shopping. Now it's not tomorrow we're going to go look at a home. How about this weekend are you available to look? Because now there are homes to look at and compare to, where before there was 1 choice or 2 choices. You go show a house, you say you want to buy it or not. That's what the case was. And when we come back, we're going to have Joe Costa calling us from Park Place Financial Group. That's Joe Costa, Park Place FG, FrankGehry.com. He is our mortgage specialist, and he can tell you what's happening, a little bit more about the interest rates that are going on right now and some of the programs we have for first-time buyers.
AM 1170 The Answer and AM 1170theanswer.com.
Are you looking to lower your current interest rate or obtain a loan for a home purchase? If you are, Park Place Financial Group would like to help. At Park Place Financial Group, building a value-based relationship is our #1 priority, and our passion is all about helping our customers find the best possible loan program based on their current and future needs. In doing so, we utilize our years of experience and expertise to help you succeed and build your real estate wealth. Give us a call today at 646-245-7856. Licensed by the California Bureau of Real Estate under license BRE number 01841088. When you're involved in an accident, there's somebody at an insurance company far away from here whose job it is to minimize your injury and make their corporation money. To them, you're just a number. With Gordon Levinson and the Levinson Law Group, you're a heartfelt commitment, and their team of dedicated professionals understands the hardship and suffering you have to deal with. Let Gordon Levinson and his years of insider knowledge and experience as a former insurance company lawyer go to fight for you. It's the Levinson Law Group's mission to fight back against reckless, impaired, and distracted drivers who cause harm in our community. The Levinson Law Group. Online at levinsonlawgroup.com. That's levinsonlawgroup.com. Or just Google the Levinson Law Group.
Did you know that there are over 17,000 real estate people in San Diego with a license to sell real estate? Kinda scary, huh? It makes you wonder what kind of credentials one might have to have in order to represent you on your most important purchase or sale of your life. Let me make it a little easier for you to find the right representative and introduce you to a man that has over 28 years of experience and has built an incredibly strong team with a reputation that Yelp nearly had to create 6 stars. Mark Schwartz is the owner, broker, and CEO of Mark Schwartz Realty, with a beautiful office located right in the heart of Del Mar. Mark's attention to detail, his creativity, and his outside-the-box thinking continue to separate him from the rest. He's a Southern California native, and he's talking to you right now on the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Radio Show. Get connected with the best of the best. Go to markforhomes.com. That's Mark, the number 4, homes.com. Mark Schwartz Realty, when only the best will do.
Call Mark at 858-414-4602.
Welcome back. This is Mark Schwartz, and you are listening to the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Radio Show. Quick question. Have you ever been injured in a high-speed, high-impact vehicle collision or had a loved one tragically killed due to someone's reckless, impaired, or distracted driving? Well, then you need the help that Levinson Law Group can help. LevinsonLawGroup.com. Go to the website, email Gordon. It is no joke. So many doctors, friends, neighbors, me referring family members to, these guys are over the top. It's the integrity that they offer. They're making it a safer community by fighting back against texting and distracted, drunk, and impaired drivers. Let's go check out Gordon Levinson at LevinsonLawGroup.com. That's LevinsonLawGroup.com. So we do have a special treat. We have Joe Costa from Park Place Financial Group, our mortgage guy, number 1 in the business. He is all over it, and he's calling us from New York City. Joe, are you there? On location. Not our location.
On location in New York.
New York, calling live. So how's it going over there?
It's going well. It's going on. I'm actually in Fire Island for the week with the family. We're having a great time. The weather is nice. Not as nice as our San Diego weather, but certainly is very, very nice.
That's always the question.
I'm sitting
how's
on a
the weather
boat right now. My friend's boat, my roommate from college, Paul, and we're just having a good time with the kids.
Love it. Well, that's great. So just while we have you on the phone, man, we just wanted to find out a little bit more about like what's happening in the interest rates. It seems like they're continuing to rise.
Oof, yeah, it was a rough week, and they have continued to rise. As we talk about, the buy down costs have increased. There's still the floor where you can get high 3s, but the cost to obtain that now has gone up considerably. And beginning of the week, it was probably, let's say, at a 3.875 rate, you'd pay, a quarter to 3/8 of a point. Now you're looking at almost a point to get that.
Now that's of the loan amount. Is that right? You're talking about paying a point of the loan amount.
Exactly. So buy down would be a percent of the actual loan amount. So I mentioned a quarter, 3/4. That's what I'm referring to, the actual loan amount. Times that by the loan amount, that's your cost.
Gotcha. So it's still okay. You still can get these interest rates that we were looking at in the past, but now it's just going to cost you money. So I guess there's just 2 ways to look at it. Where is the break even at some point? When is it better for somebody to not pay the 1 percentage point or the $5,000 on a $500,000 loan and just take that interest rate that's a little bit higher?
Well, that's what we talked about. So if you can afford the 4, 4 1/8, 4 1/4 rate without the buy down, then that's something you should consider. However, if you're planning on staying in the house, and let's say it's over, 60 months, 5 years, you can amortize that cost, then certainly you would want to consider a buy down because you can amortize it and cover the cost. So it comes down to your personal situation, and that's where you really need to know where your head is based on length of time you're planning on staying there. Since the rates have gone up and the cost to obtain the rate that was once free, which I say that because back in February we were getting rates lower than the 3.875. In fact, you were at 3.5, 3.65 with no cost. So it's just a different thought process you have to have going into a mortgage situation, purchase situation.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you got to think about it. I got to take it seriously, man. We're getting a 30-year mortgage on a house. This is the biggest investment of our lives. And before, we didn't even really need to think about it. We had no cost, low rates, lower than ever. And it was opportunity, knocking right there. They were begging you to buy homes. The government was basically just, hey, laying it out for you and making it easy. But it seems like now there's more thought that needs to come into it. I can't think, to me, does it make sense to pay $5,000 to save $125 a month? And when's the break? Does that mean that I got to live there for 5 years to break even on that point? Is it tax deduction on the payment? Is it a tax deduction on the $5,000? How does it work that way?
Well, there is some tax advantages or tax deductions based on your settlement charges, but certainly when you're looking at staying at a place for an extended period of time, past let's say 60 months. Then it might be worth your while to pay that buy down cost to get the better rate, because each month you'll soon forget about that cost, that buy down cost, 3 months, 6 months into the loan, and say, wow, this is great. I'm actually paying an affordable rate, and I feel good about it.
It's hilarious actually that people would actually, at 4 1/8 or 4 1/4, worry about buying it down to 3 7/8 when those rates are so ridiculous as it is. And that minimum
it's still very low.
Very low. You have the tax deduction from the interest payments that you're making each month. Do you see people leaning more towards interest only type programs at this point because they think the P&I, the principal and interest loans, are too high?
Well, you're going to start seeing certain lenders roll out the interest only, as I refer to as an IO. Product more, because as rates start ticking up, the IO product is a good option. It wasn't a good option after the collapse in 2008, and certainly in trying to get some recovery in place, the IO option was dangerous. But now, as we see rates creep up, the interest only option can certainly help certain people get into homes. Now, with that though, you are qualified on this fully amortized payment. So it's not something that you can get around in terms of qualifying for a loan. It's just the payment itself. So for instance, if I'm applying for a $100,000 loan, I still have to qualify as if it's a fully amortized payment, including, principal. However, I will at one point, as lenders start rolling this out, have the option to take an interest only, which would lower the month-to-month payment I'd have to make.
Understood. So, I just, before we lose you, I got Jason here from Action Home Inspections, our physical inspector that, we use over and over again. They're number one in the game.
Hey, Jason.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
So Steve Chubbuck owns the company, and Jason's working there. We've had a long-term relationship, and we utilize them well. Action Home Inspections. If you need to get an inspection on your home, call me, Mark Schwartz, 858-414-4602. That's 858-414-4602. Call or text, and I will hook you right up with Jason, and he will make sure that that home is in the condition that it needs to be in, at least make you aware of what you're dealing with when you buy the home. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how important that is. But, Joe, when does it – I've had it come up. I don't know if it's a certain type of loan when the lender needed to look at the home inspection report. Does that ever come into play for you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that comes up from time to time. Certainly it's something that stands out within a home inspection report that will affect the collateral. So that's why it will come up. If it's something collateral oriented, not cosmetic, it will pose an issue for the lender. If it's cosmetic, depending on the severity of the cosmetic, it won't affect it.
So, Jason,
so that's what it comes down to.
Gotcha. So, Jason, do you get calls from appraisers and lenders requesting copies of the inspection report, and are you allowed to give them out? Do you have to do that through the buyer or the seller?
Basically, the only person that has the right to use that is the buyer. They can have their agent forward it to whoever they want, but they have to give permission.
Right. So, I'm a buyer. I'm going to get a physical inspection of the property, and just because somebody's requesting it doesn't mean that I'm going to go ahead and give it out. Although when an appraiser comes through the house, I guess if there's damage that's evident, Joe, is that when you're going to request an inspection and see?
Exactly. Yeah. There's something that affects the collateral above and beyond just the cosmetic part. And certainly sometimes cosmetic does come into play, but if it's something, frame issue, something that really could affect the collateral, then it's going to pose a situation where the lender is going to ask for a second inspection or dig in a little deeper above and beyond that first inspection report.
Gotcha. And hey, thank you very much for calling in. We have one really important question before you go, and that was, how do you feel about the Knicks draft pick?
Oh, I feel amazing.
Carmelo Anthony could speak differently.
It's about as good as the Lakers pick. So, yeah, we're doing well on opposite ends, man. I like Ohio State, man. It's good.
The Lakers did well. The Knicks, I don't know. It seems on the surface not to be the best pick. Certainly not the most popular pick, but we'll see where it goes. It's a little disappointing.
Great. Thank you. Enjoy New York and your family. Thanks for calling in. Once again, this is Mark Schwartz from the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Radio Show. That's Joe Costa, our number one. The guy is a maniac in the mortgage business. That's Joe Costa at Park Place Financial Group. Email him at joe at parkplacefg.com. That's Frank Gehry, and he can help you out, get you started, the program, and everything else.
That sounds good. All right, guys.
Bye, Joe.
Have a safe trip.
Thanks for calling,
Bye.
Joe. Cool. So, Stacy, First California Escrow in Del Mar, working hard for you out there, making sure that all the escrow companies are out and optimized and taking care of the clients. What do you have to share for us today?
So one of the things that I thought I would bring to the show tonight is for the buyers. And a lot of times they don't think about this, and I know when they're working with someone like you, Mark, with your expertise, you would advise them correctly. But this is something that's really helpful when you're going to sit down and you're ready to write up that contract and you're all excited and, you're putting your name on the contract for the first time. This is something that's really important, and that is how you're going to put your name on the real estate purchase contract for the first time. And what you want to do is you want to put your name down exactly how it reads on your driver's license. And a lot of people go by, different names. Johns go by Jacks or Roberts go by Rob and Bobby's and things like that. And to be quite honest, to avoid delays in your closing at the very end, you want to start off at the very beginning on the the right start. So make sure when you get started in the beginning with your real estate agent and you're writing up that contract, you think about things like how your name is legally. So how does your name appear on your driver's license, and how do you sign your name legally? That's how you want to put your name on your real estate purchase agreement from that point on. You want everything to be consistent. So that is my tip for you buyers out there when you're going to start. You want to be consistent.
So if you're buying a house today and your agent gives you the real estate purchase contract, you need to make sure that your name is written how it appears on your driver's license.
Correct. Or your passport if you don't have a driver's license.
Gotcha.
And
what happens in the event that you don't do it? My name's Mark Schwartz. So everyone calls
Mark.
me. Thank you. Everyone calls me Charlie. So I write Charlie Schwartz down on the contract, and then all the documents come out Charlie Schwartz. And I said, "Whoa, I'm Mark Schwartz. What do we do? Is there?"
Everything has to be redrawn, and this causes a delay in the closing. And this upsets the seller who is counting on you, Charlie, aka Mark, to close your transaction on time. So it's a really big bust. You want to make sure that everything's done correctly and accurately. So people are counting on you to do the right thing.
Absolutely. And I think that's a good tip. If you're going to, first of all, if your realtor doesn't ask you how you want to hold title, the name that you want to go in from the beginning when writing the contract, makes those assumptions, then you got the wrong real estate agent, that's for sure. We need to take the time that you need to make sure that everything's handled appropriately, all the documentation is filled out properly, that the buyer and the seller understand their obligations to the contract, to avoid delays, to avoid, having to get powwows together in the middle of an escrow when we all have so many things going on that just clarity at the beginning would have absolutely saved us time and aggravation. And I think what's happening now in this real estate market is people are starting to scramble. There's 17,000 realtors in this business, and when the number of sales start to either not shrink down, but what happens is there's an attrition rate where people are not selling homes and getting into other businesses, and they're trying to wing it and sell a home here and a home there. And that's dangerous. So I'm going to tell you, if you're looking to buy or sell a house today, call me, Mark Schwartz, 858-414-4602. Hershel Strother is my high-end luxury real estate specialist, and he'll be there to help you and service your needs. We're going to go ahead and set up a program with Joe Costa, our guy from Park Place Financial Group, and make sure we got a program that's in place for you. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Jason from Action Home Inspections about the meaning of having an inspection, why you should have one, and God forbid if you don't.
Saying, I don't know, is no longer acceptable. This is AM 1170, The Answer.
Are you looking to lower your current interest rate or obtain a loan for a home purchase? If you are, Park Place Financial Group would like to help. At Park Place Financial Group, building a value-based relationship is our #1 priority, and our passion is all about helping our customers find the best possible loan program based on their current and future needs. In doing so, we utilize our years of experience and expertise to help you succeed and build your real estate wealth. Give us a call today at 646-245-7856. Licensed by the California Bureau of Real Estate under license BRE number 01841088.
Hey San Diego, Craig Sewing here. Look, one of the things that nobody likes to hear is that they got bugs in their home. Almost all California homes have some sort of bug or termite problem. It's not a cool thing to have bugs running around your house, so I'm going to help you get rid of them. I want you to connect with Lloyd's Pest Control. These are our good friends of the Craig Sewing Show. They can help you. They've been in business, putting bugs out of business since 1931. They'll do a free inspection for you. If you want to get your biggest investment checked out, make sure there's not bugs or termites, go to LloydPest.com. That's LloydPest.com and get a free inspection of your real estate today.
When you're involved in an accident, there's somebody at an insurance company far away from here whose job it is to minimize your injury and make their corporation money. To them, you're just a number. With Gordon Levinson and the Levinson Law Group, you're a heartfelt commitment, and their team of dedicated professionals understands the hardship and suffering you have to deal with. Let Gordon Levinson and his years of insider knowledge and experience as a former insurance company lawyer go to fight for you. It's the Levinson Law Group's mission to fight back against reckless, impaired, and distracted drivers who cause harm in our community. The Levinson Law Group. Online at levinsonlawgroup.com. That's levinsonlawgroup.com. Or just Google the Levinson Law Group.
Craig Sewing here, host of the Craig Sewing Show. I want you to think in your head for a minute. How much money did you make last year? Here's a better question. How much money did you keep? In other words, how much of your hard-earned money was for you rather than giving it away to this inefficient government of ours? If you think the government's inefficient, I got a challenge for you. I'm going to challenge your efficiency with your tax plan. My good friend Doug Jennings, who you hear on KCBQ all the time, is a savant when it comes to tax planning. As Doug puts it, Craig, I've never even seen a tax return I can't improve. Doug can help you keep more of your money, help you improve your structure for your taxes, your business, your real estate, even your marriage. Why wouldn't you take a moment to get a free consultation? It can save you thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars. He's not really a friend of the IRS, but I'm a consumer advocate. I want him helping you. This is something you got to do. Visit JenningsTaxLaw.com for a free consultation on your tax plan. That's JenningsTaxLaw.com. You can thank me later. Doug is a great person, a great professional. He and his wife Peggy are friends of mine. I give him my highest recommendation, JenningsTaxLaw.com. Visit him today.
Did you know that there are over 17,000 real estate people in San Diego with a license to sell real estate? Kind of scary, huh? It makes you wonder what kind of credentials one might have to have in order to represent you on your most important purchase or sale of your life. Let me make it a little easier for you to find the right representation and introduce you to a man that has over 28 years of experience and has built an incredibly strong team with a reputation that Yelp nearly had to create 6 stars. Mark Schwartz is the owner, broker, and CEO of Mark Schwartz Realty, with a beautiful office located right in the heart of Del Mar. Mark's attention to detail, his creativity, and his outside-the-box thinking continue to separate him from the rest. He's a Southern California native, and he's talking to you right now on the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Radio Show. Get connected with the best of the best. Go to markforhomes.com. That's Mark, the number 4, homes.com. Mark Schwartz Realty, when only the best will do.
Welcome back. This is Mark Schwartz, and this is the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Radio Show. And I mean, in between on the break, I heard another success story from my guy, Gordon Levinson at levinsonlawgroup.com. The difference is this guy, he used to be an attorney for some of the largest insurance companies in North America. And now what he's doing, he's representing you, the people that have justice actually have been involved in accidents, that have issues that are going to prevent them from working and from operating normally, and another six-figure settlement that he got for a client of ours. And I got to give him the best recommendation. I would recommend nobody other than Gordon Levinson at levinsonlawgroup.com. That's levinsonlawgroup.com. He is community service oriented, and look, if drinking and driving, if texting and driving, if talking on the phone weren't illegal, everybody would be doing it, but it is. And if you've been injured because of it, you need to talk to Gordon Levinson at levinsonlawgroup.com. Getting back to real estate, we have Jason here from Action Home Inspections. And if you are looking to buy a house, or if you're going to go ahead and list your home for sale, you need to get an inspection done first. Know what you're dealing with. I always recommend my sellers get an inspection up front so there's no surprises when the buyer comes and does their inspection. It isn't like, oh my God, I didn't know that, or that can't be, because you've already done it yourself. And so, Jason, fill me in a little bit about the inspection process and kind of how it goes down.
Well, there's two places you don't want to hear, oh my God. One is home inspection, the other one's brain surgery. But basically,
how do they compare?
Yeah. Having a neutral third party do your home inspection basically goes beyond what you can see with your eyes as far as validating the actual property that you're investing in. The home inspection is one of the biggest investments that most people make in their lifetimes. So doing your due diligence and understanding completely how your home operates, the systems of the home, the life expectancies of those systems. That's one thing that we are real thorough and make sure we go through with an owner. So not only can you get the value of your inspection for what you're paying for, but down the road, it will literally save you thousands of dollars by having the correct amount of knowledge and knowing that you can't just live in a house and not do anything.
Well, that's such a good point. I mean, we always stress the importance of working with pros. If you're going to go ahead and select a realtor to represent you, you need to verify that they have a license, they haven't had any issues, talk to people, get testimonials. When you're looking for a mortgage, you need to take the time to shop right, make sure that you're getting the right program that meets your needs. If you're buying a house and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, I don't care if it's a $50,000 mobile home or a $10 million house in Rancho Santa Fe. I mean, you want to know what you're dealing with. If you bought a car, you're going to take it to a mechanic and give them a checkup, right? And so I'm shocked that people forego. What happens? What are some of the horror stories that you've faced?
We've seen everything: structural, mold, systems not working. I mean, you name it. There's so many different individual systems in a home: cracked slabs, foundation issues, structural issues, and with the buyers foregoing a home inspection or having their brother-in-law or a family member just come over and look at it because they're thinking they're saving money, it literally can end up costing you thousands of dollars in the long run.
Just like anything, it's imperative to have a licensed contractor, someone who's in the business, does this for a living, not a guy who knows how to fix toilets. I'm talking about a guy who does this, builds homes, has seen it from the ground up, and he can evaluate it. Now, what happens if you see something, you're walking through with a buyer, you notice something, or on your report, how do you go about it? Are you doing the mold inspections? Do you work with somebody that, further investigates these items?
Well, with mold inspections, those are a whole special entity of their own. Those individuals do what's called air quality testing as well. And they will come in and do a sample on an area that we think needs to be sampled. But a lab is the only one that can determine what type of mold it is and how it should be remediated.
Understood. And so you were telling us a story about somebody who had you guys go out there, do an inspection. There was a swimming pool there, but you hadn't, or they hadn't done an inspection. You guys do pools as well?
Yes, we are full service. We do pools as well. A lot of inspection companies do not because they haven't received the proper training to do those and certifications. We have those. So we're basically a one-stop shop. If the house has a pool, typically what will happen is they'll have a home inspection come out, then find out that he doesn't do pools, then start hunting the pool inspector, and it creates a lot of chaos and havoc where there shouldn't be.
Is it imperative that we let you know up front that there is a swimming pool there when we set up the inspection, or do you stumble upon that when you get there and you're like, oh, hey, there's a pool here, by the way, it's an additional X?
If you're dealing with a not so professional realtor, sometimes they'll accidentally not inform you that there's a spa over there, but the buyer will definitely let you know that there's a spa there. So you just take it as it is, and we can inspect them on site. We don't need to know ahead of time. It's always nice to know ahead of time because we can quote the right amount of time if the property is occupied. But if it's on the fly and we get there and it's there, we're going to inspect it.
Yeah, I mean, imagine you set up inspections throughout the day and you have time, slots and whatnot. And when these things come up, it's probably backlogs you and whatnot. I find that the funniest thing is when people are actually trying to negotiate the inspection cost. Don't want to do an inspection because it's going to be $400. Oh, could you get it for $350? I mean, are you kidding me? That $50 to get a qualified individual in there could save you thousands of dollars. And I know from these, we had talked about the foreclosed homes when they're just giving the keys to the owner and they're bailing out. There's no disclosures. And these guys are buying homes and waiving their inspection. The horror stories we're talking about is like when they call you after the fact, like, hey man, I own the home now. Let's check it out. And you're like, bro, you should have done this before you bought the house.
Right.
Have you seen situations like that?
Oh, absolutely. You get into something as simple as, they'll walk around and everything looked fine, but they didn't bother to go through and flush a toilet or, run the bath to see if the drains were actually flowing. That's something that you can't really just look at it and see if it's actually functioning. They didn't check to see if the roof was actually in physically good condition because they could only see it from the ground. Looking inside of attic will tell you, history of things and different repairs that have been done on a house.
Right, and the brothers, sisters, mothers, cousins, they're not properly equipped to, check everything out. They show up, and you're doing yourself a big disservice by not having a home inspection. That's why we always use Jason at Action Home Inspections to verify that the home is in good condition, and if it's not, we go through the motions of requesting that the seller compensate us by either doing the repair or handling the request or crediting the money to get it done at the close. So sometimes it's even better, so we're not going back and forth over what was done right and what wasn't. Are you guys available to do inspections after? So you do an inspection, we have a request for repairs. Can we call you back and have you come re-inspect?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've done several instances on multi-million-dollar houses where the sellers are not even in the state. And we basically do the walkthrough, work with the contractors, make sure that the property is exactly the way that it's supposed to be turned over to them, and we document it along the way.
I love it. It's always best to have the inspector come back after the inspection, after the sellers or completed the repairs. Let's make sure they were done properly and done the way they needed to be done and done to code. And the funny thing is, like, mold, man. Everybody's talking about mold. It's hilarious. Like, I started selling homes in the 80s, right? And in the 80s, there was plenty of mold, but all we did was just cut out that piece of wood and put a new one back, a little white paint on it, and it was over. It's like there was no big, it's just amazing how things develop. Yeah, just a lawsuit comes, there's disclosures, and then all of a sudden it's industry-wide, and you got to be really careful, I imagine, about how you communicate with a buyer or a seller when you go through the inspection. It's a very, you got to eloquently explain the situation and use finesse. So when we come back, we're going to talk to Stacy Pulowski from First California Escrow. Has some great tips about water-saving devices and some of the things you can do to save water. It's amazing how much water is wasted. I personally, and if millions of people just made the minor adjustments, we would not have the droughts that we're in.
Turn my head until my darkness goes.
AM 1170. The Answer.
Are you looking to lower your current interest rate or obtain a loan for a home purchase? If you are, Park Place Financial Group would like to help. At Park Place Financial Group, building a value-based relationship is our #1 priority, and our passion is all about helping our customers find the best possible loan program based on their current and future needs. In doing so, we utilize our years of experience and expertise to help you succeed and build your real estate wealth. Give us a call today at 646-245-7856. Licensed by the California Bureau of Real Estate under license BRE number 01841088. When you're involved in an accident, there's somebody at an insurance company far away from here whose job it is to minimize your injury and make their corporation money. To them, you're just a number. With Gordon Levinson and the Levinson Law Group, you're a heartfelt commitment, and their team of dedicated professionals understands the hardship and suffering you have to deal with. Let Gordon Levinson and his years of insider knowledge and experience as a former insurance company lawyer go to fight for you. It's the Levinson Law Group's mission to fight back against reckless, impaired, and distracted drivers who cause harm in our community. The Levinson Law Group. Online at levinsonlawgroup.com. That's levinsonlawgroup.com. Or just Google the Levinson Law Group.
Did you know that there are over 17,000 real estate people in San Diego with a license to sell real estate? Kinda scary, huh? It makes you wonder what kind of credentials one might have to have in order to represent you on your most important purchase or sale of your life. Let me make it a little easier for you to find the right representative and introduce you to a man that has over 28 years of experience and has built an incredibly strong team with a reputation that Yelp nearly had to create 6 stars. Mark Schwartz is the owner, broker, and CEO of Mark Schwartz Realty, with a beautiful office located right in the heart of Del Mar. Mark's attention to detail, his creativity, and his outside-the-box thinking continue to separate him from the rest. He's a Southern California native, and he's talking to you right now on the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Radio Show. Get connected with the best of the best. Go to markforhomes.com. That's Mark, the number 4, homes.com. Mark Schwartz Realty, when only the best will do.
Call Mark at 858-414-4602.
Can you hear me now? This is Mark Schwartz coming back to you live from the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Radio Show, and it's been a great week in real estate. Hershel Strother, I know you are OC native and down in San Diego selling homes. I know you've had just a little taste of the San Diego market, and I'm just curious what your perception is on how you've seen things change over the last 6 to 8 months.
Well, I think that what you're seeing right now is buyers are really trying to flood the market right now. They're trying to look for great deals. Everyone that's calling our office is, what do you have? What do you have? What do you have? You have anything in Del Mar? You have anything in La Jolla? They're looking for specific price points. People are trying to get aggressive. They're getting outbid. So, everyone wants a deal.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like buyers are going directly to the listing agent more and more, thinking that that's going to do them justice, and it might give the listing agent an incentive to get their offer taken. When, hey, you got to look at dual agency. You got to make sure that individual is representing you properly. I can't tell you how many times, I've made an offer at $350 on a deal that was at $400. The listing broker says to me, well, how high can you get these guys? And I said, well, our offer is $350. What do you mean? How high can I get these guys? Let's go ahead and respond. Or just on the flip side, I'm representing the seller, and a buyer, comes in, the broker comes in with a buyer's offer, and it's like, okay, your offer's at $350. We're gonna write you a counter, and the guy says, "Okay, well, you just meet me halfway. I'll get my guy up." And I'm like, "Okay, you just sold your guy out $25,000 on one phone call. Like, by the way, I had your buyer on the phone during that call, so he wants to talk to you." I mean, could you imagine if somebody that was representing you was just laying you out like that without looking in your best interest? It's a fiduciary responsibility. If you got an agent who's dying to make money, if you're telling yourself, "Man, I'm going to use him because he needs the money," you got problems right from the start, because this guy's looking out for his own bank account, not yours. If they're trying to jam this deal, it's because he needs the money. Definitely. Make sure that you don't get yourself caught in that situation. So, Stacy Pulowski from First California Escrow, our escrow company, Jill Severance in Del Mar, 858-793-0502. They are pros. They educate, further educate. They come out and they spread the word, and they're working hard for you. Stacy, what do you got for us as far as the tip of the week?
So I've got some water-saving tips I thought I would share with everybody since we're in this unfortunate drought situation. Just some fun little facts to think about when you're using water. So some of the things you can do indoor, for instance, would be to wash only full loads of laundry and dishes. For instance, this can save up to 50 gallons per week. Fix any household leaks promptly. That can save up to 20
Well, who
gallons
wouldn't fix
per
a
day.
leak promptly? With that
Some
house that we
people
have
don't.
the house we have in
That's
escrow,
really
that's been
leaking.
about, the
We've
guy
seen a
said-
couple.
He said it was only
Right?
been leaking for 2 weeks. I mean, we're like, really? It's like 4 feet up on the wall, man. Okay, go on.
This is difficult for some of us ladies, but you're only supposed to spend 5 minutes in the shower.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, come on,
That's the
Herschel.
problem.
Come on.
I'm in and out in 3 minutes, so I'm making up the average for you.
That saves up to 8 gallons each time.
So if a million people were to do just that, we're talking about 8 million gallons of water. Okay, drought fixed, game over. That's it. It's a wrap.
Speaking of water, what about that community in Torrey Hill?
Oh yeah, we're going to door knocking in a neighborhood, and they got like thousands and thousands of gallons of water coming down. It's very hot outside in summer. I mean, yeah, but the homeowners there pay the homeowners association for that feature. And anyway, continue.
Right. This one I think is very easy that everybody can do, and my daughter reminds me all the time, and that's to turn the water off while you're brushing your teeth.
There's so many things you can do while brushing your teeth.
But this saves up to 2.5 gallons per minute.
Wow.
Per minute.
That's
Per
impressive.
minute.
That is just a. We should have a fixture. Jason, what can we do to develop something on the sink that
A little sticky note on your mirror.
Well,
Come
forget the
on
sticky
now.
note. How about when you turn it on, it turns off automatically. It gives you just that 3 seconds to get the toothbrush wet.
I'm
Yeah,
sure by the time
gas
our
stations
kids are
have that
grown.
already figured out.
Yeah,
for
that spigot. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, I think they're less than 3 seconds, but
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty cool. That's really, I know.
That's very good. Well, the gas stations are charging you for water, so that's why.
And then you can buy water-saving devices like high-efficiency toilets, which could be eligible for rebates.
That's what I was going to say. The water department will go ahead and either credit you money, help you pay for the cost of that toilet by putting in the water saving device for sure.
And then there's outdoor things you can do, like water your lawn 1-2 days a week instead of 5 days a week. Check your sprinkler system for leaks, overspray and broken sprinkler heads, and repair them promptly. Use a broom instead of a hose to clean your
Oh my
driveway.
God, we're out
and
there, guys,
sidewalks.
hosing the driveway down. Got his headphones on, just hosing the driveway. Hose for like 30 minutes. It's like,
do
bro,
that
get a
anymore.
broom out. I mean,
Not supposed to do
killing.
that.
We need the water for our kids.
Yes. Install a smart sprinkler controller that adjusts watering based on weather, soil type, amount of shade, and plant type. Water your plants in the morning or evening. This reduces evaporation and ineffective water due to wind. Use organic mulch around your plants to reduce evaporation. Also, the other thing is, to install turf and get rid of your grass.
We've seen a lot of that around where people have gotten turf in the backyard.
And that also qualifies for a rebate.
Yeah, I must say, there's a golf course that is in San Diego recently that just completely did an overhaul and put it more desert motif to make it, succulents and mulch all over to save water. I think they're saving $2 million in water on that course in 1 year.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. So, all those things are amazing. And it's just like, when are people going to wake up? Because what are we going to do? Run out of water? Start feeding it from the ocean? It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. I'm sure you've seen flashing signs. We're in a drought and you're supposed to do, all kinds of things to.
Well, I heard there was
try
like
and
a
help.
drought day. Yeah, they
Drought
want to
day.
make, got to
There
make
is
everybody
drought
aware.
day.
Probably like from the minute you wake up, you're going to turn on that faucet and brush your teeth. You're wasting water. You turn on the shower while you're brushing your teeth. You're wasting water. You throw a piece of paper in the toilet and you flush it. You're wasting water. You can't even get out of the house. You've wasted water 3 times before you like the
It's
dishwasher,
so
the
true.
washing machine. Like there should be no small cycle on the washing machine. You got to fill that thing up and do it. It's like
true.
those little things are just ridiculous.
It's sad. It's true.
No question about it. So there's all kinds of, exciting things that are going on in San Diego. By the way, this is Mark Schwartz, and this is the Mark Schwartz Real Estate Radio Show. We've heard from Joe Costa at Park Place Financial Group. If you need to get pre-approved for a home purchase, you can reach Joe at joe@parkplacefg. That's frankgary.com. Check my website. That's Mark, M-A-R-K, the number 4, homes, HOMES.com. And I want to set you up, hook you up with Joe, and let's go ahead and get that program available and get you start creating that wealth that you deserve, you and your family. So we have Jason Shepard here from Action Home Inspections. You can reach him at actionhomeinspections.com, just like it sounds. That's actionhomeinspections.com. Do yourself a favor. Get an inspection. If you're looking to sell your house, do it before you put the house on the market. Know what you're dealing with so there's no surprises. Present that inspection to the buyer. Hey, I've already done an inspection. I'm proactive. I've taken the leap. I've got an inspection inspection on my home. I've got a termite report on my home. It falls right in the category of doing the disclosures and making the buyer aware of what they're purchasing. Now, if they still elect to have their own inspection because they don't believe you, I'm telling you right now, that's okay, but just make sure you protect yourself. Call Jason Shepard. Just look him up at actionhomeinspections.com. That's actionhomeinspections.com. So we got some fun things going on in San Diego, and it generally doesn't cost much money. I know you had a list, Stacy and Herschel, of some of the things that were going on this week and weekend. What's happening?
Well, Contessa's playing at the Del Mar Fair tomorrow.
That's Herschel's wife is playing piano at the Del Mar Fair tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Flower and Garden Stage.
Yeah, we were invited to go, but
So I'm excited.
That'll be fun.
yeah, it'll be fun. I don't think I would drop the $200 to bring me and my kids over there, but thank you very much. Send me a CD. That would be great.
Definitely. The Oceanside Independence Day Parade is going on tomorrow. The OB Street Fair and Chili Cook-Off.
Chili
Going on.
cook-off.
Anyone love chili?
I love chili.
Absolutely, the hotter the better.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Paul,
so,
you like
do we go
chili
down there
too?
and test? Do we taste? Do we got to bring our own chili? I mean, can we
No.
participate in just the eating of it?
Yes, that's what you do.
Okay, great.
Bring tons of money too.
I think the fair's ending too. Not this weekend, but next weekend.
July 4th is the last day. Of the
Last
fair.
day.
So long, fair.
Yeah. Woo!
Bye-bye.
It's
And
been great.
Yeah, goodbye, traffic.
15th
traffic.
annual Taste of Adams in
What is
City
that?
Heights in Kensington.
Well, Adams
is Adams?
Avenue is a street that they have a lot of
Oh,
restaurants on.
okay.
So yeah, they're going
Lots
to do
of
that.
foodies.
Oh,
Yeah.
how fun.
Got a taste of Italy, etc. Well, we do have some exciting things going on this weekend. We have a new listing over in Trilogy in Torrey Hills, which is 11242 Carmel Creek Road, and it is the least expensive home in Carmel Valley, 92130. It's at 719. It is priced to sell. Look me up, Mark MARK, the number 4 Homes HOMES.com, and I'll be happy to set up a showing for you, get you pre-approved with Joe Costa, and on the way to creating that wealth that you deserve. We'll have Jason Shepard come do the home inspection and make sure that you're protected. And next week, as every Friday at 8 p.m., we're going to be calling out realtors that are not looking out for your best interest. Have a great weekend.
Money, money, money.